Hi, I'm here today to talk to parents about their kids going into their freshman year of high school. This is a huge time in everybody's life. It is so exciting, it's so fun, but here's some things to remember that helped us through these years. We've had three go into their freshman year of high school and they've all lived so far. Let's talk about this. Hey, I'm Melanie from Parenting High Schoolers. And I blog and write for parents of teens, and not from a place of expertise because I'm certainly not an expert. Neither is my husband. My kids aren't perfect. But I try to hop on YouTube once a week and talk about things that might help you as you parent your teen that have either helped us during certain times or in certain situations, or things that I wish we would have known that I've learned since or found out from a friend or through research for my blog. All right, so kids going into their freshman year of high school, this is a huge change. But you know what? It's so exciting, and it's really going to be great if you guys work as a team. So I have 10 things for you to remember as you enter this time. And even if school has already started, this is still a great way to touch base with your kids. So here are 10 things. First of all, freshman year counts, as in like grades. Grades count now until you get out of high school. And here's something that we found out with our oldest son that no one told us about. When your son or daughter is applying to college or the military or wherever, most of that happens the fall of their senior year. So what happens is you can only use the GPA for freshman year, sophomore year, and junior year. Now, that GPA at that point is what goes on those applications for wherever your child is going next. You can update the application or all of the information for each college that they're applying to or the military or whatever. That is totally okay. But to start with, you only have 3 years of GPA. So there's a secret that you now know. Your child needs to know to not change who they are. Obviously, there's going to be evolution that is happening. They're going to learn things, they're going to experience things, and things are going to happen that are going to help them to grow up. But remind them that who they are is so special and so wonderful, and to not try to adjust to situations in ways that are not comfortable or that are not truly true to themselves. And that is such an important thing, and it's really hard. So really encourage your kids as they're experiencing things, maybe talk through different scenarios, do some role playing. If they need help practicing talking, whatever it takes, help them to remember to stay true to themselves. Number 3, tell your kids, your teens, to listen to the teacher. I'm a teacher, and kids don't want to listen to us. They might listen to us, they might not. But usually what we tell them is, for instance, I might say in my classroom, this is on the test next week, so you might want to listen to that. Or I've seen this situation happen in the past, and so this is how we're going to deal with it. And your teen needs to know that the teacher, even if they're a first-year teacher, they have had experiences of their own in the past, and that teachers aren't going to waste their breath. They don't have time. They're not getting paid enough money. So if a teacher gives them a piece of advice or tells them something in the classroom, I would say you need to listen. Number 4, participate in class. This is so important. First of all, it'll make class more interesting because I know a lot of kids are like, oh, it's so boring. Well, we're doing the best that we can. Encourage your son or daughter to raise their hand. And I know that seems really corny and awful. And, you might have your child pass a note to the teacher and say, I'm not comfortable raising my hand, but I'm okay if you call on me. And that way it seems like it's coming from the teacher and not them. So if that is a way that they need to handle that situation, do it. And teachers appreciate participation so much. They're a lot of times struggling to make the class as interesting as possible. Number 5, help your teen learn how to manage time. They need to know how to read an analog clock, the kind that has 1, 2, 3, 4 all the way around, because that is what is in most schools. So they need to know what a full hour is, and they need to know their schedule. In fact, my son always, even in high school, puts his schedule in the front of his notebook. I also have a copy of it, so I know where he is during the day. Not that I'm going to contact him or anything, but I might need to tell him something, and I always try to do that during his lunch or like during class breaks. But your child also needs, your teen needs to know from the time they get home until the time they go to bed, and sometimes even before school the next day, there's like a 0 hour classes, there's athletics, there's marching band. For instance, my son had to get up and be at school at 6:45 this morning. They need to know, I would say they need to put in all of their activities, work, school, clubs, sports, all of it. And they also need to remember to take time for themselves. So for instance, they might need to ask their boss, could I not work 2 shifts this weekend? I've had a busy week. I just need 1. So they need to manage their time so they have enough time to study and have fun. Teens need to get enough sleep. I have a blog post about this that I'll put in the links below. It's super important, and teens need honestly at least 9 to 9.5 hours of sleep a night, and this is more than they needed than when they were 10 years old. I did the research for my blog post. Super important. Now, if they really can't get to sleep at night, a couple things. 1, make sure that their phone is not in their room, no devices, because that will limit beeps and buzzes and notifications. 2, are they taking a nap in the afternoon? It's too long. Keep an eye on all of that and talk with them and see what is going to work for each of your kids, because they're all going to be different. Don't cram. So that is tip number 7 for your teen. Study a little bit each night. I have a couple of YouTube videos about this. I have a blog post about this. I think teens think, oh, if I just study a lot the night before, I'll do great on the test, or I'll do okay. 9 times out of 10, no, that's not going to be the case. But if you study a little bit along the way from the time the teacher tells you that assigns you the test that's going to be next Friday and it's Tuesday now of the week before, start studying just a little bit. Break it apart. Number 8, speak up for yourself. Your teen needs to know how to do this. They need to be able to talk to a teacher. They need to be able to talk to a coach. They need to talk to the school secretary if their school money or, their lunch money didn't get put in the account, or, whoever the adult is in this situation. They need to be to a boss, all of that. This might be where you could practice. Bring a friend in that but your kids don't, that could role play with them. Please make this be a goal for you to be sure your kids can talk to adults in all kinds of situations. Number 9, your teen needs to be independent. They cannot depend on you for everything. I mean, when they're babies and toddlers and preschoolers and even early elementary, a lot of us are very involved, and that's the way it should be. But as your kids get older, you need to start pulling yourself out of there and let them figure things out. It's hard. It's not easy to watch them struggle and make poor choices or not advocate for themselves. Just keep giving feedback, positive as much as possible. Role play, stay in conversation, but help them to be independent. Your teen needs to discover what their passions are. Have them try different clubs. Try a sport. My son had never done anything for track and tried out his sophomore year, and he didn't really try out. He just started participating and he loved it, and he was never great, but this is such a fun time for kids to get involved, to make new friends, and to know that each activity that they try is a new set of friends and it's a new life experience, and that will stand them so well as they move on into the real world. Good luck with your teens in high school. Thumbs up for my video and subscribe to my channel below. Have a good day.